Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. Children, as you all are aware that we had started our chapter 10, Respiration in Organism, and in this we had already done about uh, introduction of respiration, then types of respiration, and in our last class we had done steps of process of respiration, how internal respiration and external respiration work, and then complete your respiration process will happen. As well as we have already done about respiratory organs, what are the respiratory organs which are present in your body, that also we had done. Now today I'll be starting the class with the breathing rate. Breathing rate, what do you mean by breathing rate? Means we do inhalation, we do exhalation within a fixed interval of time, but number of times we breathe in a minute is known as breathing rate. So how do we define it? That now breathing rate differ, like in smaller children the rate is a bit faster. Even when we are doing running or we are doing exercise, at that time also the breathing rate will higher, and but on an average the breathing rate is 15 to 16 times, like or 15 to 18 times. On an average 16 times a person is breathing in, means that person is doing inhalation and exhalation in a minute. So breathing rate is what? Breathing rate means what time or how many times you are going to breathe in and breathe out in a minute. So here we had a standard, that is 16 times a person at a normal working time, a person is breathing. Inhalation and exhalation occur continuously and alternatively. So one breath means one inhalation and one exhalation. Now the number of times a person breathes or breathes in a minute, the number of times, if it is asked from you all that what is breathing rate, then a proper definition is the number of times a person breathes in a minute. The number of times a person breathes in a minute is called as a breathing rate. Normally we breathe 16 to 18 times per minute, and breathing rate increases up to 25 times per minute during fast running or heavy exercises. Normally you have seen that the worker category or the people, those who are working harder, like laborers, they were taking breath continuously and they are taking more than 16 times. They were breathing in more than 16 times. You may observe that they will be breathing continuously. So that is what, that is your breathing rate only. So breathing rate, you can find it out. You can do this activity also, which is given in your book. Like you do different tasks and then you count that how many times you are breathing. Fine. First, when you are sitting normally, then how many times you are breathing. When you are doing exercise, then how many times you are breathing. When you are running, then at what extent it will increase. So this kind of an activity you can do it to find it out that yes, we are breathing for a different duration of time. Now, in a process of respiration, we had done external respiration and internal respiration. So now we are going to discuss once external respiration. During external respiration, oxygen enters the blood from alveoli and combines with hemoglobin, the respiratory pigment in the RBCs, to form a temporary compound called oxyhemoglobin. On the other hand, carbon dioxide from the blood enters the alveoli in the lungs. From there only it is going to exhale. So external respiration, during external respiration what happens? The oxygen enters the blood from alveoli and combines with hemoglobin. Now this process is a temporary process which is known as when this oxygen combines with hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a rich part of your RBC, that is red blood cells. And when it combines with it, then a temporary compound is formed which is known as oxyhemoglobin. Now on the other hand, carbon dioxide from the blood enters the alveoli in the lungs. So from there it can be removed. Then internal respiration. What do you mean by internal respiration? On reaching the tissue cells, oxyhemoglobin breaks down to release the trapped oxygen. So on reaching the tissue cells, what it happens? Oxyhemoglobin break down to release the trapped oxygen. Now the released oxygen diffuses into the cells. On the other hand, carbon dioxide from the cells enters the blood. So this process, it is not like that one process is keep on waiting to finish the other process. All these processes are going hand in hand and it keep on moving like that. And then the other, once the one process will finish, then the other process keeps on going. That is going hand in hand. Now cellular respiration or cell respiration. Cellular respiration, since the respiration is a process which occur in cells, that is why it is known as cellular respiration or cell respiration. Now it is the chemical breakdown of glucose inside the cell. As I told you earlier also, in the respiration what happened, that is glucose which is already present in your body, that will break down in the presence of oxygen. What is that? That is, we have done two types of respiration. So in first, that is aerobic respiration we had done, that is glucose will break down in the presence of oxygen into carbon dioxide, water and energy. So now many times we were doing this breathing, respiration, and these two terms are used simultaneously. Somewhere we were using breathing, somewhere we were using respiration. So what do we understand by this? That what does these terms refer to? What is the major difference between breathing and respiration? So breathing and respiration, first of all, it is breathing is a physical or mechanical process. Fine. It is a physical or mechanical process. When we were doing some physical task and we required more and more oxygen, then only we breathe in. But respiration is what? Respiration is a chemical process. So difference between breathing and respiration is very important. Difference between breathing and respiration. This is an important part of it. Once we understood that breathing, respiration, and after that we are supposed to do this difference between these two, breathing and respiration. So breathing, it is a physical or mechanical process, and respiration is a chemical process which help to break down food in your body. So we represent respiration with a chemical equation also. So this is a chemical process. Now breathing, it involves exchange of gases. Breathing involves exchange of gases, like we take in oxygen and then we give out carbon dioxide. Then number two, here respiration, it involves exchange of gases between outside air and cells, outside air and cells, and oxidation of glucose will happen. Oxidation of glucose will happen. So here what do we understand here? That here in breathing we exchange gases. We exchange gases, but we take in oxygen and then we give out carbon dioxide. But here on the other hand, what we find it out that in respiration exchange of gases will be there, like that is between outside air and cells. Since respiration is a process which happen or which occur in your cells, so exchange of gases from blood and from outside air and your cells, and oxidation of glucose will happen in respiration. Then breathing, it occurs outside the cell. Respiration, it occurs inside the cells. Breathing, no energy is produced. In respiration, we all aware of it, that respiration is a process which help to produce energy. So respiration is a process which help to produce energy, and breathing, no energy is produced in it. So major difference between breathing and respiration. Number one, first point in both, breathing, it is a physical or mechanical process. Respiration, it is a chemical process. Number two, it involves exchange of gases. Breathing involves exchange of gases, that is taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. Respiration, that it involves exchange of gases between outside air and cells, or oxidation of glucose will be there in respiration. Number three, it occurs, breathing occurs outside the cell and respiration occurs inside the cells. Number four, no energy is produced in breathing, energy is produced in respiration. So how does, if respiration is a process which is so complicated or such kind of a fruitful chemical process which happen in our body, so how other animals will able to respire? How other animals they'll do respiration? So like we human beings, we have lungs in our body to do respiration. Similarly, frogs, snakes, crocodile, birds, other mammals also they possess lungs. But all animals do not have lungs. Animals like earthworm, cockroaches, mosquitoes, snail, fish are without lungs. So how do they breathe? How do they breathe? So that is a basic, or that is an important part of this chapter, that respiration, which is such an important process, then how respiration occur in other animals? How do they respire? So that is very important. So respiration we are going to see in other animals. Respiration in other animal is our next topic, which is again an important one. Respiration in other animals. Respiration in other animals. Other animals. So here we are going to understand that how other animals respire. Since respiration is an important process which help to extract body, which help to extract energy for our body, and this energy is so important to perform all the tasks. So if energy is so important for our body to perform different tasks, so there is certain ways to extract energy. The animals, those who have lungs, like I've taken example, like we human beings have lungs, as well as other animals also. There are certain more animals those who are also having lungs, like frogs, snails, crocodile, birds, other mammals, they also possess lungs. But there are certain animals like earthworm, snail, then fish, mosquitoes, cockroaches, they do not have lungs. So they are not going to do, or they are not going to perform respiration. No, it is not like that. Since each and every animal or microorganism, they required energy for their body, for their functioning of their body, so they must perform respiration. So there are certain ways or certain other parts in their body which help them to perform respiration. So about that only we are going to discuss. So their respiratory organs are much different. Let's see respiration in earthworm. That is, and here I am going to mention one more name of respiration, which is basically known for earthworm only. So first we will understand respiration in earthworm, and then we'll understand about that name. Now respiration in earthworm and leeches. Earthworm respiration in earthworm. How earthworm respire? Earthworm, earthworm and leeches also. Earthworm and leeches also, they respire through their skin. So they breathe only through their skin. Their skin is moist and slimy and has numerous blood capillaries. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs between air and blood in the skin only. And this process of respiration, which happen in earthworm, that is known as cutaneous respiration. Again, that is a kind of a respiration only. So in earthworm as well as in leeches, they respire through their skin. So respiration, as I told you, respiration is a process which is very important for all of them. So there are certain part of their body which are going to perform this, but it is not like that they will not be doing respiration if they do not have lungs. So skin in their body, now their skin is moist and slimy. Earthworm skin is moist and slimy. Even if you will keep that earthworm on a piece of a paper, you will find it out. Wherever the earthworm will crawl, that part will become wet and has numerous blood capillaries. Fine blood capillaries they have. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occur between air and blood in the skin. Now this is called cutaneous respiration. So frog has lungs just like us, but it breathes through its skin also when it is in water. So exception also, you are going to remember exception also, that earthworm and leeches, they breathe only through their skin. Earthworm as well as leeches also. I have not written leeches on the board, but you remember it. Fine. Earthworm and leeches, they breathe through their skin only. Then frog has lungs just like us, but it breathes through its skin when in water. Again, cutaneous respiration. Its skin is kept moist for respiration by mucus. Fine, mucus is that is why its skin is slippery. If you have tried sometime to catch a frog, you find it out that the skin of frog is slippery. When you hold it, you try to hold it in your hand, it will be going to fall. Fine. So what you are supposed to do it here, that you will remember this, that frog, when frog uh, is inside the water, then that frog is breathing through its skin, and for breathing purpose only, that frog is keeping its body uh, wet through mucus. Mucus is the salivary, that slippery, or that fluid which is released by the body of frog, or by the frog. So respiration in earthworm and leeches happen only through skin. They keep their skin, their skin is quite slippery, it is moist, which help them to breathe through their skin. They have fine blood capillaries which help to exchange gases when they comes in atmosphere. So that is earthworm respiration in other animals. Number one, earthworm, that we had done. Now next is respiration is in cockroaches and other insect. So this name of respiration, like earthworm, leeches, as well as frog, when it is inside the water, inside the water, they possess, all three will possess this cutaneous respiration. Fine. Earthworm, leeches and frog, when it is inside the water, they possess this cutaneous respiration. Fine. So another name of respiration is only there. So now we'll do respiration in cockroaches and other insects. And again I am going to, or we are going to see that again we'll be finding another name for this. Fine. Okay. Now respiration in cockroaches we are going to see. Now how does cockroach and other insect, they respire? How does cockroach and other insects respire? Now what is the name of other insects? Also I am going to mentioning here other insects also. The respiratory organ in insects are branched air tubes, which is called trachea. Branched air tube. Like in cockroach also, if you have seen, sometimes when cockroach will turn at the back, then you find it out that they have that trachea. That is what? That is branched air tubes. You can see the structure of cockroach. So that is a branched air tubes are there, which is called trachea. Fine. In our body also, trachea is what? That is your windpipe. So the respiratory organ in insect are branched air tubes, which is called trachea. The air tubes form a fine network inside their body and are in contact with the cells. So they open on the body surface by spiracles. Now what do you mean by spiracles? Spiracles are the small openings of trachea in insects through which air enters into the trachea tubes and is expelled out. So first of all, complete branched air tubes were there, which is known as trachea. After that, this air tubes are fine network inside their body and are in contact with the cells also. Now they open on the body surface by spiracles. Now spiracles, what are spiracles? Spiracles are the small openings of trachea in insect. Small openings, or you can mention it, the spiracles are small, open and close to allow respiratory gases to move in and out of the air tubes. Now oxygen rich air enters the trachea tubes through spiracles and diffuses into every cells of the body. That is why we are mentioning that cockroaches, they breathe through their holes. Since these spiracles are working like a hole, which is used to exchange gases in their body. Which is used to exchange gases in their body. So they diffuse into every cells of the body. So other insects, like just like this cockroaches and similar insects which is similar like cockroaches, they are going to breathe through these holes only. And this kind of a respiration is called, since it happens in trachea, so that is known as tracheal respiration. That is tracheal respiration. Other insects which is having a structure like cockroaches, they are also possessing this tracheal respiration only. So let's see once again that the respiratory organ in insects or cockroaches, that is are branched air tubes, which is called trachea, branched air tubes, that is called trachea. The air tubes form a fine network inside their body and are in contact with the cells. They open on the body surface by spiracles. Now what do you mean by spiracles? Spiracles are the small opening of trachea in insects through which air enters into the tracheal tubes and is expelled out. Okay, then the spiracles open and close to allow respiratory gases to move in and out of the air tubes. Now oxygen rich air enters the tracheal tubes through spiracles and diffuses into every cells of the body. So that will happen, that is a complete process of cockroaches and other insects. How do they breathe? Then respiration in fishes. Next is how does, now this tracheal respiration happen in the insects like cockroaches and other insects like which is similar to cockroaches. They will be performing this tracheal respiration since they breathe through their spiracles. Spiracles are the small openings in their trachea which is responsible for exchange of gases. Now respiration in fishes, as fishes live inside the water, so they possess aquatic respiration. Since they do not have lungs, again they breathe through their gills. Fishes and other animals living in water are called aquatic animal. Their respiratory organs are gills. So they obtain oxygen which is dissolved in the water when it passes over the gills. So when the water passes over their gills, the oxygen which is already dissolved in water, that is absorbed by their gills itself. Now gills are projection of skin. These are formed of a large number of a gills filament with a network of fine blood capillaries. Again, this fine blood capillaries are very important, since that blood capillaries only allow to do exchange of gases. And since respiration is a process which is used to extract energy for our body, so energy is extracted only inside blood and the cells, fine, and oxygen will mix with the blood cells and then only that energy can be extracted. So respiration in fish is again important, and after that we are going to do respiration in plants. So respiration in animals, once we will be finishing this topic, it will take another day to do explanation of respiration of in fishes or aquatic respiration, and even other animals, those who are living inside the water, how do they respire. So that we are going to discuss tomorrow, and respiration in plants also. So after that we will be doing some of the checkpoints also tomorrow to wrapping up this chapter. So today I will be finishing the class here. and tomorrow we will start with respiration in other animals. So that's all for today, children. Have a good day.